I've been 70–80% raw, I'd say. Most of my life, that's the way I've carried it, but I do my other things that sometimes aren't so good. I don't want to ever wear glasses. Oh, yeah, no kidding. Sucky poo. Again, going up with upper circ, use the eye wash. I got to start using that again, and you can use it internally as well, but move those lymphs, because the deterioration of anything, including eyesight, the optic nerve, the retina, anything like that's all about acids anyway. What's nice is how simple this is and how the shoe fits everybody, at least those people that are willing to open up, you know, and take it. And that's all you can hope for, is that we make a big difference while we're here. What more fun for us to grow and learn and travel into the God worlds and be a vehicle for the God force and to give love and beauty. I mean, what a high humbling experience. You all are just incredible, and you always want to be that way. That one commercial for, I think this is like I don't know if it's a stock company. I think Liberty Mutual is an insurance company, but how one person helps another, helps another, helps another, that pass it on. Very slick commercial, but also very intuitive and very spiritual, I think. This is how it is, you know, the giving of love and helping and passing it on. We need that. Imagine walking down the street and everybody waves, "Hi, how are you?" and gives you due love. And I just love that. This planet is starving for that. And I think these people, the majority of the humans on this planet would turn if we got rid of these narcissistic politicians and we got into good, loving God people that focus was to make everything good for everybody and to put the responsibility back to the individual. Instead of your government will do it for you. Ugh. Dr. Morris, is it possible to... Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely impossible. You said pancreatic cancer is easy to treat. I'm saying it is. Pancreatic cancer is treating... let's go back to what you said. You said pancreatic cancer is easy to treat. No, I didn't. I don't treat any cancer, and you shouldn't either. The concept of treatment, and I know this is just a play on words, but you have to understand words are things, and words are power. The treatment of anything means you're not going to cure it. That's for sure. If you have a tumor, I've had both types of cancer, pancreatically speaking. I've had tumors all through the pancreas and the bile ducts, blah, 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 blah. And then I've had degenerative pancreatic cancer, which I showed her eyes. Meaning that basically the pancreas was breaking down at the cellular level. It wasn't about tumors, it was about acids breaking the cells down. Now, pancreatic cancer is, to me, as up there as with liver cancers, and those, to me, are the easier cancers if you were looking at them. The most difficult cancers that you're having. Now, we're looking at cancer not as a disease. Remember that. And we need to find another word for cancer. The medical doctors are pretty slick. Maybe not the individual ones, but the AMA and those people that run that, they're like the world bankers. Part of that, remember Rockefellers? Very slick in the articulation of words and how they set words in their proper places to, one, put them at harm's away from that, but also in the way they lock you into thinking. So if you said pancreatic cancer simply damaged cells of the pancreas by acids, and is that a difficult issue to remedy? No. Bone, much more. But as a rule, most of the cancers are not too difficult. Aggressive lung cancer, I've had all levels of that. I've had some that didn't make it out of that should have made it out of that, but really most of the... I'll say this. The heavier the lymphatic problems and the more away from the kidneys they are, the more difficult they are, because of the time needed and the process needed to get the kidneys to start filtering in the first place. So yeah, we've had some people with tumors all over their neck and head area that we just couldn't save them quick enough because we couldn't get the kidneys open quick enough, open up these lymph nodes and get them to drain. The longer you allow your lymph nodes to stay swollen, the harder they get. It's going to take a while breaking that hard lymph up. That's the problem with tumors that you just watch and they get real hard. When the tumors get hard, you're starting to get in trouble. And that's nothing but the anionic process of acidosis. And that doesn't serve us much. That's why we use the Laetrile or a castor oil. To me, is just as good. And it'll just help loosen that up. But still, we've got to break through a lot of that before we sometimes can get up to some of these areas. So it isn't that the remedy isn't there. It is just the process is time-consuming. There's no like that. And we're a culmination of generations of the milks and the meats and the crap like that, the grains. Wish I had known about you and your work 9 years ago. I know. I tell you what, though, remember, it's just a body, and you're going to get this, and don't worry about it. It's just a body, and if someone's passed with this in your life, remember, the soul is always the individual, not the bodies. When you're talking to your friends, look at them as soul, not as a body with a persona to it. They're a giant soul, and they're just limited through all these bodies they've taken on to get here. And so they're looking through these limited conditioned states that and they don't realize that. So the more we introduce them to themselves of who they really are, the more they'll blossom and grow, and joy will come in. Because they're now not identifying with their small states of conditioned thinking and emotions and that, and their weaknesses in their bodies. They've tapped to who they are. And you notice some person can have a lot of problems but always be happy and joyful. That is a really connected individual, whether they realize it or not. My granny was like that, always sang no matter what. Always hummed and sang no matter what adversity faced her. That taught me a lot. My husband was diagnosed with that. He died. Sorry, honey. Sorry about that. Green helper. Well, I can understand why you call yourself the green helper. Well, sweetheart, take this knowledge and just help others. You know, I feel sorry that you had to go through that. It's just the way it is on this planet. We pull people in and love on them, and then something takes them away sometimes. So you're the center course, and we all must always realize that. If we pull another individual to ourselves for a while, it's just another soul, but at the soul levels, we're with everyone. So there is no separation there. So here, yes, it appears like we have separation, but we must always be strong in our own selves, because if you're not, you become emotionally weak and insecure. And insecurity only breeds fear and unknowingness, and then the control of you by others. So becoming strong is the real key factor, and just be strong that you have awareness and that you're a much higher being than what your body is giving you, right? And you'll be okay. Maybe there's a lot of people that you can help now, and your story will help to bring that to others. You know, sometimes these tear-jerking stories serve as a modus operandi, so people feel that you have a mission and you have a sense of strength and power because of what you went through. And also, some people have the ability to listen to you more because of your journey and what you've been. So take it and have a lovely day, and you know, be free and enjoy that. The more soul you're in tune to, the more you'll communicate with your ex there, or your, not ex, but your past husband. This is KSOEBERG. Dear Dr. Morse, my blood tests state that my liver values are high. AST is 55, ALT is 156. Woohoo! Yeah, ALT is 156. That's a bit on the high side. Alkaline phosphatase is 83, GT 161. What can these mean? It means your liver is having a little bit of a heyday with some acids. Must be having a party down there in that liver with some acids. Trouble is, need to get the party over and get rid of the acids. Send the acids home. So that's moving lymph again. You can get in the liver with the liver formula, but by all means, the liver's just a branch on the trunk of the GI tract. Get into that GI tract, clean it up there with all the things we talked about early on in this video, and also hit the kidneys and adrenals. Move lymph and really get that moving, and then your liver enzymes, alkaline phosphatase, all that'll come down nicely, and you'll rebuild any damaged tissue of the liver, and you'll be good to go. But that's a road you want to get down. Liver loves grapes. I have scalp issues, acne. Well, there, you see what I'm saying about the GI tract in relationship to the head area. And right there, you're a good case to show that, where you're having that GI tract hepatic problems at the same time. You're going right up and you're having the acne. You're having the folliculitis. I love that one. Folliculitis. That sort of thing. Itching, stinging, stinging and itching, you know, on the back. Well, you're just backed up lymphatically. You feel it, the burn, the itch, the pain. Yeah, I mean, that's all limp, and just itchy skin all over. You probably have a lot of fungus too. You know, that kind of goes with the picture there. I also have diabetes type 2, where there's your adrenal connection. There's your kidneys right there. So you got to get into the adrenal glands anyway and fix those. You got to get the kidneys up and going. You got to get your bowels cleaned up and going. That'll all drain the liver out, drain the brain out, and you'll be in good shape. But you have to spend some little time doing that. But I'd get after that. I don't like the 156, but I've seen them way up there. But that'll come down nicely for you if you get focused like this, definitely. I do want to buy herbs from you, but unfortunately most of the formulas have herbs listed as drugs in Norway. That's sad. I can get some of the single herbs locally. Will this suffice? Do the best you can, Kenneth. Absolutely, my friend. Do the very best you can. Too bad, Norway. But do the best you can. Definitely put yourself on a grape fast. If you have to, use your fruits and stuff to pull yourself out of that. You can do that, particularly with the elevated liver enzyme. So use a grape and maybe even a lemon juice fast there and pull yourself out of that, and you'll be okay. If not, I'd probably move out of Norway for a short period of time, get your health back, and then move back. You know we're making a difference when we can change the governments. Morgellons. Wait a minute, Coco. Here's a... No, I hope not. Boy, I had a lady with that. You saw those little blue hairs moving everywhere. I came across a man in a health food store that was ranting and talking about how he had Morgellons and finally got rid of about 80% of those man-made parasites. He said that these parasites were man-made. I don't know about that. You know, we are nuts when it comes to laboratories. We're just insane. These guys just don't care. We have love bugs down here in Florida because of the insanity of our government, state government. University, actually. So, I mean, it's insane. So now we are dealing in love bugs. Imagine the financial responsibility the state would have to bear for doing that, or the university, if they had to pay for all the cars, all the paints, and everything they've ever done. I mean, we have, I don't know if you all know what love bugs are, but those are two bugs stuck together, one pull, one push. They're just sad, male and female, born together. You know, it's just, and they smatter all over your windshield. They're high acid, take your paint off, bumpers. It's nasty, and they're by the mass. When you breathe, you can suck them in. Sad, you know. It's just man playing with things. He just you know. I've heard about this disease. Not a disease, Coco Love. Not a disease. Parasites aren't diseases, are they? No, they're opportunists. They love culturing mediums. And also on sites where it shows string-like things coming out of the skin. Yeah, and I got little blue hairs on them, and you'll see them wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I got a bunch of jars of them over here. Let me see if I can find them. I got the thread worms. That wouldn't be them.